Okay, well today what we're going to do is we're going to be working on the passenger window. What it's doing is it only goes down about that far. It's very slow to retract. So either the cable is binding inside or maybe the wheel has gotten off the track. So first we need to do is disassemble the door card and pull this off. Yeah, well the first step is the door pull. There's a Phillips head screw in here. And the next part is there's a little felt pad inside the door pull right in here. We need to move that up, lift that out, and there should be another screw down inside. And it's going to take some needle nose pliers and kind of pry it up. See, there it is. And the next part would be inside here with the door latch. And then there's a series of these little upholstery pins. You just take your fingernails, pry out the center part, and just kind of wiggle it around, and it should come out like that. And there's a number of them. There's that one on the inside edge, and then if you follow along here, there's a couple more. Okay, I think I've gotten all of the screws out and the little upholstery pins. So I'm going to remove the door cup. You just open up the latch like that, all the way. Slide this out. On the previous generation Miatas, there were some plastic pins in here that you just kind of pop out by going around the edge. Let's see, there's one. Feels like there's one more somewhere. There it is. Okay. Now, since I have a tweeter in here, it's actually part of the panel, so I need to lift this out a little carefully. Look inside, and there's two wires connecting to the speaker inside here. So let's see. It's gonna be a little tricky to get out. Let's see, there's a little tab right here. You just push that and gently just kind of ease it out. Okay, I'm looking down through the top edge of the door. Over here is a plastic wheel, and it's cracked in the middle, and I can even see little plastic fragments of the wheel that's just disintegrated. So that's part of my problem right there. And the next step is going to be basically trying to get this I need to get this plastic cover out. It's held in place by this black goo that loves to get everywhere. This is for the door latch mechanism. think the easiest way will be start from this end. And then once you get to this area right here, we need to pull the door handle through. Oh, there's a little clip right here. You just kind of work it through a little bit at a time. There you go. Okay, now before I tear into the door, I'm just doing a quick visual check of what's in here. I mean, it's got leaves. There was a really big glob of grease on the bottom of this track, which leads up, and that's where that cracked wheel was. There's some broken plastic bits. Looks like a clip of some kind. Other than being just really dried out, I can't see anything obvious other than that wheel. In order to get access to that wheel, I'm going to have to remove the glass anyway. There's this little brace right here with some sound insulation. It's held in by these plastic clips that are Phillips head. Just be careful not to strip them out. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you reach in from the back. Ooh. And you lose them. Okay, and you compress this end right here, kind of squeeze it and push from the inside. The next step would be to loosen this window stopper, but to keep everything aligned. I'm going to take a marker and mark the top of where this bolt goes. The next step is we need to remove these 3 bolts that connect the window glass to the regulator. What you should do is, if you can, try to get the window down about halfway to fully expose these. Unfortunately, with this, I can't really get a good grip on this third one over here. I have to go at it at a kind of an angle. Ideally, you should have an assistant help, because once these bolts are loose, there's nothing keeping the glass from just slipping through and falling. We'll take that one, and this one, and then the last one will be this one while I hold the glass up with the other hand. Then there you go. Alright, so from here, I just replace that little roller wheel and get some new grease in these rails. And that should be it. Okay, well, I bolted the new window bushing in and noticed that there was a significant amount of play. So just to recheck it, I put this old one back on, and there wasn't. And lining them up side by side, I noticed that there's a bit of a height difference. So my solution is to take a little washer, to take up the slack and put them at the same height. and it illuminates all the play in there. And I think it would also help to add just a tiny bit of grease in here, so that way you'll turn a little more freely. Okay, it took a little bit of wrestling around to get through the window stripping over here. So I finally got the glass situated. Okay, well, got the window fitted back in, and while I was playing around, testing it a few times, I noticed that the same problem occurred where I was binding up a little bit way down. So I was feeling along, and the cable for the regulator, which runs up right over here, was coming loose and getting caught on one of the wheels for the window, and that's what was hanging the window. There's a little clip right here. This is the butt end of it that pokes through the sheet metal, and it comes loose whenever the cable is, when you move the switch to go up, this cable moves and it gets directly in the path of the window. I have the feeling that this clip is broken, so I basically took some duct tape and taped the cable to the inside of the door shell. And thus far, I've done a few runs up and down, and haven't had any binding issues. Alright, well, I have the door together, and I have a functioning passenger window now. This pretty much concludes this particular repair. As far as what's next with this car, it will probably be down the line when I do address the leaks in the engine, the front main seal, the rear main seal, and a few other components. About the same time, I'm planning on doing the clutch, just because you have to take the clutch off in order to access the rear main seal. So hopefully you guys stick around and check it out.